guys, and welcome to a new video on Sono's Life. As you can tell by the title of this video, I am here to wrap up this year's Golden Series tour. I was a bit hesitant to start with because after Wrestle Kingdom we always have the New Beginning show with some huge matches. Obviously this year is the New Japan 50th anniversary and they changed it up a bit. And there's a lot to go through. There was a lot of title matches, a lot of warm-up matches and a lot of news to come out of it. And that's not even including everything that's happening in America, which I will deal with on another day. So, as always, as we have now finished the tour, I am here with a full review of everything that happened. So that includes the title matches, the big storylines, and what we can expect going forward, which is huge. So let's get going. So, like I said, there was literally so much content this month. This month we had a few shows cancelled because of COVID restrictions and COVID cases within New Japan. But there was still so much to watch. Like, I was literally trying to catch up with things and I was like, I don't have the time for this. But the good thing is that they spread out these big matches throughout the entire tour. So I think it was about a month of shows and we literally had every title defended in some way. And the first thing, I guess we go straight back to the start. And on the 11th of February, we had Master Wato challenging El Desperado for the Iwgp Junior Heavyweight title. On January the 5th at Wrestle Kingdom, he managed to beat El Desperado in a tag match to cement his claim to a title shot. Now, going into this match, there had been a lot of toing and froing in the preview matches. Despy had joked, well, Wato's not on the same level as me. And you know what, in the past I would have said, you know what, Desperado's right. How could Master Wato even deserve a title shot? But, I mean, I've always been a fan of Wato. Ever since his Kawato days, when he came back, everyone was iffy on him. I wanted to give him a chance. This match really cemented why he is a New Japan boy, born and bred, and he has got a very bright future ahead of it. The match itself, some people might not have liked it, but for me, it was less about Desperado in this match. We know Desperado is a phenomenal athlete. He did amazing in the Best of Super Junior, finally beat Hiroshi at Wrestle Kingdom. But this was Master Wato's chance to showcase how much he's improved. One of the criticisms in the past of Wato has been his lack of control, his dangerous offense, and sort of his ability to botch things up because he doesn't really know what he's doing. That was not the case this time. He now thinks with his head, he doesn't go full throttle without thinking. He has a more precise plan going into it. Of course, we still see the high flying. Master Wato is a high flying wrestler, and that's what he's going to be with his influences from Mexico and his time in CMLL. But he managed to perfectly balance that with El Desperado's submission-based wrestling. There were times where I was like, wait, Wato could cause an upset like he did in Wrestle Kingdom. But obviously we should never count Despy out. Once again, he showcased why he is at the top of the junior division. He showed up, he showed off, and he retained the title in a magnificent match. And I think as much as people have had their doubts about Wato, he cemented that yes, he might be young, he's inexperienced compared to some of the other juniors, but give him a chance and he will rise up, and you know what, he will one day be a junior singles champion. And you'll see why I had to specify junior singles later on. The next match in the tour was less great. And it was between Tomohiro Ishii and Evil for the Never Openweight title. I mean, I don't know what to say really about this. Like many other viewers, I agree this was probably one of the best matches Evil has had in the last 2 years. And I mean, that's not a compliment because Evil's matches have not been great. But of course, Evil retained. There was a lot of cheating. Dick Togo came out, Yujiro came out, Sho came out. I mean, it was crazy. Again, maybe the standard of it was helped by the fact that it was Ishii was fighting, but I am actually so sick of House of Torture and Evil and Bullet Club at the moment. And you'll see in the next match with them, the Never title went from a title that nobody cared about to such prestige with guys like Shingo, Tangashi and Ishii holding it. Now it just feels like it's back to stage one and I'm not feeling it. We then had the two main shows, which was on February the 19th and 20th, and it was jam-packed full of title matches. The first title match we had was a fatal four-way for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight titles. I am never a fan of these multi-man title, four-way and three-ways, but I've said this in the past. If it works in New Japan, it will be for the junior heavyweight division. We had the champions Flying Tigers, so Tiger Mask and Robbie Eagles, versus 6 and 9, so Wato and Taguchi, versus El Desperado and Kanemaru, versus the cutest tag team in the world, Ishimari and El Fantasma. Going into this match, there was some really good warm-ups. So we saw the tension between Ishimori and El Fantasma because El Fantasma refused to do his super kick because he doesn't have the steel plate in it. You know, the steel plate that we waited forever to find out about. There was a rivalry between faction teammates with obviously Tiger Mask, Wato and Taguchi, all members of Hontai. And basically Suzuki-gun were just there like, I don't know why we're in this match, like we should just have it anyway. The match itself wasn't long, it was about 12 minutes, but there were some amazing spots in it. Obviously, it was a quick start. We saw the submission skills of Suzuki-gun. Phantasma was doing his flippy-dippy stuff. Ishimori was showing his diversity. The Flying Tigers, considering that they've not been a team for so long, have been amazing. Like, Tiger Mask can still go. He's in his 50s and he is still as active as like any young lion. Robbie Eagles did an amazing Frankensteiner where he jumped onto the top rope, took El Fantasma, Frankensteined him onto the rest of the competitors. Phenomenal. Yet again, like I was saying in the first match, one of the standouts was Taguchi and Wato, who we all know eventually went on to win the match. They might not have been on the offense the entire time, but their teamwork, weirdly enough, seemed to work perfectly. And that's how it ended in the end. Tiger Mask was in the ring. Wato managed to get in and help Taguchi to get the win. It is not only Master Wato's first title, but it is a big thing for Taguchi because he doesn't have to retire, as he is now not only the 69th IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, but the 69th IWGP Junior Tag Champion. And you know how important 69 is to Taguchi? He achieved his goal, I achieved my dream. That was a great match. We then had the match for the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Championships, and that was between the team of Yoshihashi and Goto, who you know I love so much, and the House of Torture duo of Evil and Yujiro. Oddly enough, this wasn't as bad of a match as I thought. Again, putting it down to the Chaos duo being absolutely phenomenal. Goto and Yoshihashi never cease to amaze me. They are pure class. Their teamwork and tandem offense is second to none. And it really helped in this match because obviously we saw cheating. So like bloody Dick Togo came out. I think Sho came out at one point. Then obviously Yo and Ishii came out to help. But the big thing in this was after months of the House of Torture running chaos, pun there, running amok and causing chaos, the Chaos duo took it on themselves to realise we can't always be the good guys. So obviously when the Pimp Stick came out, when Evil and Yujiro were going to fight, Hiroki Goto brought his own staff out. A big ass piece of wood with like metal chains on the end to get even with them. And that, I think, was a turning point. With the help of that, they got the win and they are still the heavyweight champions. And then we had the main event. Oh, that main event. So it was the United States Championship match between Hiroshi Tanahashi and Sonata. Have you ever heard of a more handsome match? I'll wait. No, you didn't. Now, again, I couldn't watch this live, so I was like scrolling through social media and everyone was saying what an amazing match it was, and I can't disagree with them. When I watched it, I was really surprised because we know Tanahashi and Sonata are extremely athletic. Yes, Sonata will mainly use ground base, but he is known to go up top to do dangerous things. Similarly to Tanahashi, he is very flashy in his style. This was a lot more subdued and a slower paced match. Yes, we had some moments of like pure flash and style, especially for example when Tanahashi got even with Sonata and put him in a paradise lock. I mean, I think everyone's getting the hang of that. Sonata might need something new up his sleeve. We saw obviously a semi like high five throw from Tanahashi outside the ring. Sonata and his moonsaults, which are second to none. But really it was more of a targeted offense. Very much to the mat, nice and methodical, and it's always nice for me to see different sides. People have always complained, they say Sonata can either be big match Sonata or boring Sonata. Tanahashi is one of those guys who always brings out the best in the Cold Skull. And this was another match that he did that. And I mean, can you believe it? After 6-7 years in New Japan, Sonata had finally won his first singles title. But it was a way he won it. Most of the time we expect like the Cold Skull after a TKO and then the Muta Moonsault. But he did a Japanese grab clutch to get the submission win, I think? Or is it the roll-up win. I'm not going to say, don't like hold me on that, but I know he used that move to get the win. And it is showing that Sonata is continuously improving. He is gaining the love of the fans, but he's still sticking to his offense. And I think it is the perfect time for him to be the United States champion. Then had February the 20th, where we had another 3 title matches. The first one was for my favourite, my most beloved, the King of Pro Wrestling title. If you've been watching the Golden Series, if you're stupid enough not to, make sure to watch the warm-up match with Toru Yano and Minoru Suzuki. Basically, the stipulation was there was like handcuffs, but they could only win by getting in a dog cage. And like over the past few weeks, everything and anything has happened. So we've had young lions in the dog cage with Suzuki and Yano. Wrestlers, poor new ref Sakamoto and the new ring announcer Watanabe have also ended up in there. I think Sakamoto was also handcuffed to Yano at some point. And obviously, like, the match itself, the title match was mental as hell. Like, as soon as they came out, Suzuki wanted to torture Yano after years and years of Yano basically ruining his life. So, like, spoiling G1, spoiling title matches. This was his chance for redemption. And he did. He had a dog collar out there, was strangling Yano with it, he was handcuffing him. Like, it was very chaotic, but like everything I think the title should be and the matches should be. A combination of wacky, tough, and mental. In the end, Yano crazily got the win. Like, I'm sad for Suzuki, obviously, but it was the way it happened. So Suzuki had managed to handcuff Yano, like, proper tight, was like doing all sorts of stuff to him, and even got him in the cage. And bear in mind, Yano was in this dog collar. So Yano somehow managed to get one of Suzuki's handcuffs or something, attach him onto the dog collar, take it off himself, throw a young lion onto Suzuki to get the win. Does it sound bizarre? It was bizarre, but it's definitely worth watching. And again, Yano got his baby back. So I'm excited to see who the next challenger is going to be for this title, because it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it is mine. Even though I don't drink tea. There's a little TMI for you. The next match... Do I just skip over it? It was a Chaos trio of Yoshihashi, Goto, and Yo versus the House of Torture trio of Dick Togo, Sho, and Evil for the Never 6-man titles. Like with the Never title, when Chaos held it last year, it was one of the best titles in New Japan. It elevated a division that had always been overlooked and created a sense of heart and passion that we hadn't seen in a while. House of Torture ruined that. This match was literally, what do you want me to say? I feel like a broken record when it comes to their matches. There was interference, there was cheating, there was probably chairs, I can't remember, I blanked out. The issue is there is so much potential with this, but it just feels like these matches now become like 90% cheating from the House of Torture, 10% amazing offense from Chaos. And considering Sho used to be one of my favourite wrestlers and one of the best junior heavyweight wrestlers in the world, it makes me sad, and I'm not going to dwell on it anymore. All I want to say, if New Japan's watching this, I love you guys, I have done, but please sort your booking out with the House of Torture. You have taken one of the best wrestlers in the company in Sho, and someone that people loved in Evil, and turned them into a faction that people will skip matches because they are sick and tired of it. That's not what the Bullet Club is, and we don't want it to be. We'll push off the negatives. We're going to push away House of Torture because the main event was next. And it was the Iwgp World Heavyweight Championship match between Kazuchika Okada and Tetsuya Naito. Over the years, these guys have had some amazing matches. Now, if you want to know about them, I wrote an article on Wrestle Talk, and I will link that in the comments below. And this was yet another saga, another chapter to add to this saga. Basically, in the warm-up matches, Naito had been dominating. Not only had LIJ beaten Okada's team basically every time, I think they said it was 17, but Naito had managed to weaken Okada's knee after the matches, and this was what he continued to do during the match. Like with Sonata and Tangashi, this was a much slower affair compared to the ones they've had in the past. And it was more to go into Naito's favour, because we all know that when Okada is athletic, he's hitting drop kicks, that's when he's at his best. And Naito has recently taken a more mat-based, more methodical approach, maybe because he wants to have a longer career. But I think it worked for this match. It wasn't long, so I think it was the shortest Iwgp heavyweight match that we've had since the title was created. It was about 29 minutes. But there was action from start to end. There was a nice changing of pace and speed. We even saw some old offense. We saw the beautiful Stardust press. Offense from Okada, I can't remember the name, that he's not used in a long time. And for me personally, it was the perfect mixture of strength, speed, agility, and submissions. The 4 best things about pro wrestling. And funnily enough, I think that both Okada and Naito were more determined than they've ever been before. This is a new title. This is a title that has not had the best past, and they want to be part of the new history. Naito has been floundering a lot since he won the double title what seems like forever ago. He's had injuries similar with Okada. And I feel like this, especially in the 50th anniversary, was huge for them. In the end, it was a final rainmaker after failed Destinos that got Okada the win. But it was a great way to end an amazing tour. And both guys showed a mutual sign of respect at the end. I know that was a very quick whistle-stop tour of all the title matches. There were a lot of singles matches and tag matches in between that were very good. It was an amazing tour. But we are now going up to the biggest time of the year. Well, one of them, we have the anniversary show coming up on March the 1st and the New Japan Cup. I will probably not do a preview of the anniversary show, but maybe a quick review. And I will also be back with a probably huge video looking at all 48, yes, you heard it right, 48 participants of the New Japan Cup. The first tour has been done after Wrestle Kingdom, and now it is up to New Japan to continue their momentum for the 50th anniversary. But make sure to let me know what you thought of the tour. Did you like it as much as me, or were you sort of on the edge because basically House of Torture ruined it all? Make sure to let me know in the comments and on social media at wrestling_chat. Make sure to give me a follow. Tell me which matches stood out. What are you looking forward to in this 50th anniversary year? So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure, as always, like, subscribe, share this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!